Mom and Dad, Joseph and Mary sitting there at the kitchen table going over to report cards, right? Everybody else has got B's and C's. And of course, Jesus is all straight A's, right? You know, and they look, you know, and they all look at they look at Jude, they look at James, they look at all these boys, and they're going, guys, come on, can't you at least get an A or A- in science, like Jesus over here? And they say, Mom, it's not fair. Jesus wrote the book, right? I mean, he wrote the book on science. I mean, you can't blame him for that. But the fact is that they were still a boy. He was a boy, and he grew up. He experienced all those things that boys experience. He had to grow up, and he became a teenager and go through growing pains and experiences of life. And then he went and became an adult. And as an adult, he began his ministry, that earthly ministry. And sometimes we forget that he was man, but he was also God. He was also 100% God, even though he had to lay aside some of those traits of his power, some of those traits being limited inside his human form, becoming and taking on himself that form of a bondservant, being fashioned in appearance as a man, humbling himself, and then going to the cross and dying. And that gives us to a good segue, because he was God in the flesh. You see, it was necessary. It was necessary, this nature, that he come in this nature, because man couldn't live forever. See, mankind has been living under the death penalty of sin from the very beginning. Adam and Eve made that sure for all of us. Because Adam and Eve sinned, they began to die. At the very moment that they disobeyed God, they began to die. Physically, they began to die spiritually. And that death was taking them further and further away from God. And God made a way so that he might redeem them back to himself. And with that way, redeem all of mankind back to himself.